Hi, in this video we're going to discuss conditional translators and their related enhancements in Rational Team Concert. These enhancements allow additional flexibility and reusability across language definitions and translators. As you can see in our sample project, most of our translators have two versions, a normal version and a debug version. What we're going to do in this demo is show how you can take the normal version and modify it to also behave as though it were the debug version, depending on how a condition is evaluated. Then we're going to talk briefly about how the same process can be applied to language definitions. I'm going to open the COBOL compilation for Kix translator as well as the debug version of that translator. I'm going to compare them side by side to show you what the differences are. As you can see, they are extremely similar. The only readily apparent difference is the sysprint DD allocation. What we're going to do is we're going to modify the sysprint DD allocation and we're going to add a condition. In this condition field, any valid ANT condition can be added. We're going to check to see if there is a debug property equal to no, or if the debug property is not defined. And if either of those cases evaluate to true, we will use this default already defined sysprint value at build execution. Then we're going to add an additional DD allocation that is also sysprint, but it's going to have a separate set of values based on what they were from the debug translator, and they are only going to be used at build execution when a separate condition is met. And this condition is going to be that there is a debug property whose value is yes. Once we add it, we're going to move it up so it looks more readable in our DD allocations table. As you can see, there are also some differences in the tasklib concatenation. We can do the same sort of thing here if we wanted to. We could set the conditions and we could have two versions of this that would be used based on the value of the debug property. So now we have one translator that behaves differently depending on the value of this debug property. But what would happen if we wanted a translator to behave differently depending on which language definition it was in? Well, as part of this set of enhancements, we've enabled users to add a property to a language definition. So for this sample, we would add a property that sets debug to yes. So within the scope of this language definition, the value of the ANT property debug would be yes. Outside of the scope of this language definition, the value of debug would be reverted to its prior value. The same method we used to make DD allocations and concatenations conditional within a translator, we can use to make translator execution itself conditional within a language definition. In this example, I'm using an AntContrib supplied condition called isLessThan to ensure that the return code of the first step is less than 12. All of the conditions from the AntContrib library are available with the prefix AC, and all of the return codes of any previous translator step are available with step x_rc, where x is the number of the translator whose return code you'd like to check. I hope you enjoyed this video and thanks for watching. Stay on top of what's happening with all of our products by visiting jazz.net.